Welcome to the Fairly Relatable Podcast.
It's like therapy with your best friends, minus the copay. That's probably so loud, but I know it's the most exciting. You are the only one in my house that eats the fruit by the foot.
I love them. I got a box for Christmas once when I was like 12 and it had, I want to say, I think it had like 24 in it.
I think the box
I ate
in
the
my,
whole box.
yeah, in my pantry, we've had that box for a really long time. My kids aren't even about it,
Oh my
but
gosh, I'm obsessed with fruit by the
okay,
foot.
so you can eat your fruit by the foot, which leads us into our
Segues
topic.
into our topic.
We want to talk about self-care.
So this is a big one. This is like the holy grail of like protecting your peace and
Survival.
growth. I feel like too, like the more we take care of ourselves, the better we're going to be able to do shit, evolve and all that.
Yeah. And I think it's really hard to find the time, but I do. I find the time.
When do you find the time? And
Well, I have a really supportive husband, I will say, of me being like, if I'm like, I want to go do this or I need to do this, he hardly ever says, no, I need this or that. He's just like, go do it. My mornings are really important. Like as soon as my kids, I get them ready, and as soon as they're out the door, I take a little bit of time to myself. That's more of the real, like, more, I don't know, tangible, but you know, if I journal, if I meditate, if I love EFT.
Oh, the emotional focus tapping?
The tapping. Emotional freedom technique, tapping. Tapping's awesome for me for regulating my nervous system.
Gosh, you're gonna have to show me all that.
Oh, I love tapping, and I'll tap on all different things depending on what's going on. I did just get exposed to something called activations. Her name is Mimi Bouchard, and she created this app, and instead of like meditations, it's more invigorating. They're called activations, and you can be doing anything, and it's different things she's talking about and like affirmations, but to really invigorating music.
Oh,
It's kind of fun. I like it. Like you're done with one and you're like, I just feel good. So I don't know. I have like a whole
do you like ever,
briefcase of
I'm
stuff.
just curious, like, do you ever read
Okay.
for so
You know the answer to that.
what do you read?
I think you'd be shocked how many women are reading smut.
Can you tell me what smut is? Like, what is it? It's not porn.
No, you read,
Okay.
first of all.
Okay.
It's not watching.
Okay. You're reading porn.
Like soft. Okay. It's just books that are more fun.
I mean, I bet they are more fun.
They are more fun. I keep encouraging you to try it. It's not.
I will try it.
I've never read 50 Shades of Grey, but I would imagine that might be more on the extreme side.
Okay.
And I don't ever like to read anything dark. There's a lot of like dark,
Like deviant.
like darker smut, or maybe it's even
Hardcore-y.
called something more severe than smut. But for me, I really gravitate towards really authors that are more fun. It's more like rom-com based.
Okay.
But then like instead of just kissing, they get detailed and they go further, and it's amazing.
Okay, because when I hear the word smut, I think of the movie 9mm with Nicolas Cage. Have you
Never
seen
watched
that?
it. You know, I don't
Dude,
watch anything
don't.
upsetting.
Don't watch it. That's my point. Is it's like Joaquin Phoenix is in it too. It's a phenomenal movie, but it's very dark and it's about smut, and smut is not in that movie. Is a whole different thing. But there's probably different degrees of. Okay, so that's one
Nothing dark. I won't watch a dark movie. If I want to be upset, I'll watch the news. Like I don't need a
whole other podcast.
I don't watch anything or read anything upsetting. I also am in an era of not wanting to read anything mind-provoking.
Wait,
I'm just not interested of learning.
but you listen to podcasts though that are thought-provoking, right?
Yes, but like if it's a book about like it's a story that took place in World War II and da-da-da. Okay, cool. I don't want to,
it's not for you.
There's one that just came out by Kristen Hanna called The Women that I'm kind of intrigued to read.
Okay.
But otherwise, no,
Not
thank
into
you.
it.
No, I feel like all day my brain's on and
100%.
and when I read, I just want it to be fun.
Yeah.
I want to get a little revved up.
Right. You want a little tickle too, maybe like a little jolly.
It's a little bit of a jolly.
Right.
I'm saying you just need to try it. I know exactly where to get you started.
Okay. To get me started, that implies that there's like a progression.
There's
Okay.
just better books than others. I'm in this new series, so we'll see.
I'll try it out.
But yeah, that is definitely self-care. And if I get into a really good book, it's just like nobody for me.
Yeah.
Mommy doesn't have time. Like,
Yeah.
we're in it.
I love that. I wish I was more into reading, but I've gotten into like audio books. I'm reading, I think it's Nick Salupo, Healing Your Inner Critic. I'm listening to it and it's good. It's really good. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to go back to the smut thing really quickly.
I would love to circle back to that.
I always have multiple books going. So audio,
Ooh.
I've tried smut on audio. I just like
Does the voice of the narrator throw you off?
Yeah, I just can't. Even if it's a better narrator, like my books on audio are self-help,
Right.
or more interesting stories.
Right.
The smut has to be like internal in my own imagination. I can't be driving or distracted. Ben's really happy when I do it right before bed because sometimes he gains benefit.
Right.
But yeah, my books on audio are not
Right.
smut.
Yeah. They're like more.
And I only read smut on my Kindle because nobody needs to see the cover. It's my business.
I want to see the cover.
I don't have any
Oh,
books. They're all on my Kindle.
I see.
And they're such trash that they're Kindle Unlimited. I don't even have to buy them.
Oh my gosh, they're free?
I only read the free ones because they're not worth me buying.
Right.
So
I
with my
love this,
Amazon
and I
account-
found this out about you like a week ago. So I'm still processing it, and I just love it so much for you.
You should. It makes me really happy.
I'm so glad.
Okay, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say my go-to self-care is a lot of it. Well, actually, I took an adult hip hop class last night for the first time. I mean, I haven't danced in like 20 years, went through breast cancer last year. My body is kind of, I love my body, but I also feel like it betrayed me in a weird way. That's a whole other episode.
Because of the
breast
cancer?
cancer. I feel like we think we're invincible. And I never had health issues. It was always like, I just always felt strong. Like, if I had an infection, I was the one that it would heal right as I took the med. If I had, it was like, and then it betrayed me, but that's a whole other thing. So my go-to, so I did a hip hop class and hadn't danced, I could barely even get through the stretching, but I had fun doing it. So
But did you said you were almost
that's the weird, it was like there's this like dichotomy to it because I did have to fight back tears kind of throughout the class, but I think I'm just still processing a lot of like what I don't know if I'm even blaming it on the breast cancer, but just of like what it's taken from me. And then I sort of have this ongoing like theme, which I never used to have, not an inner critic, but it's this theme of like, nothing ever works for me. And it's like, that's so in a way stupid.
Wait, just since the breast cancer or always?
Like recent, like within the last month, like nothing ever works for me. See, I can't even do this. Not that there's anything wrong with me, more so that it's like external forces aren't allowing. And I'm not talking about God. I'm not talking about that. I just mean like,
we were just talking about this.
Nothing works for me. Like, I can't even do this freaking dance from like the choreographies from like Millennium in LA. Like, of course I can't do it. Who am I kidding? But anyway, I fought through that in the class and I tried to shift my perspective to like, what am I getting out of this? I have not sweat. I was dripping sweat, like chugged like 32 ounces of water, which is a big deal for me because I don't normally drink a lot of water. So I was like, all right. And then you know what? I'm just going to stick with it. And the owner was super sweet. She was like, it's not usually this hard. Come back next week. It'll be easier. So I'm going to go back next week. So that's one of my new things. But I do a lot of skin care for self-care.
I do skincare, but mine starts with sticking stuff in my face.
Right. And well, yeah, I mean, I do Botox. But no, I do like, I have a derma roller. Yeah, I don't know if everybody knows what it is.
I've tried it.
Have one, get one.
Wait.
Derma roller, not dermaplaning. No. Although I do that as well.
Hold on. I've tried derma rolling over the years and I can't stay consistent because that shit
it hurts. But the more you do it, you're essentially like causing little micro traumas to the skin because there's this device with little needles. it's like microneedling, but at home, and you go over your skin in all these different directions, and then it lays down, your body's like, ooh, I'm injured. I need to repair. And then it lays down collagen.
How many nights or how many days a week do you do it?
Probably too much. Probably like 2 times a week. I'll do like cheeks and stuff. I also do like above my lip.
Do you kind of like pain though?
No, I mean, it's
It's
uncomfortable.
really
I roll my lips because especially now I'm in chemical menopause
Yeah.
because of the medication I have to take.
We need to do a
keep breast
whole
cancer.
episode soon on your journey.
For sure.
It's just important for everyone
Yeah,
to hear
for
about.
sure. So with, without estrogen, you lose a lot of the like volume and like bounce in your skin. And so I'm like watching myself age rapidly.
God, you're making me feel guilty that I don't do it.
Well, this lighting is like doing us great favors. We don't have the lighting 100% dialed in, but like you can't see anything on our faces. But
what about gua sha?
I did that last night. And I got one of the detailer.
I
Do you have
know.
a detailer?
No, I have a
where you
rose
can, like,
quartz one. I think I need
try to
to
get one with the little ridge. And you like,
It's just, this is where the derma rolling and the gua sha is hard for me. It's just, for me, it's like the end of the night, trying to get the kids in bed, washing my face. And it's just like,
I laid in bed and did it. The gua sha while I was watching like Seinfeld.
oh,
Yeah.
Seinfeld's, that's
Seinfeld's
self-care.
my self-care. The Office was my big one.
Oh, so
Obviously, Office
obviously.
is the freaking everything to me. And then Seinfeld, also Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, all good choices.
Yeah.
All good choices. I'm gonna try to invest more time into the gua sha. I really care a lot about the
I like
product
how you say
too.
that.
Am I saying it wrong?
Gua sha. No, you're saying, I say gua sha, but
I
you're
might-
saying like gua sha. And it sounds cool.
I just watch a lot of TikTok. TikTok
You can
is
from TikTok. Contrary to what
I wouldn't say it's self-care, but I've learned so much shit from TikTok. Instagram
Really?
depresses me. I can't even get on
Oh,
Facebook.
Instagram is my jam.
But TikTok, it's so educational. My algorithm.
So what do you watch on TikTok? Like makeup stuff, skincare?
I love makeup. I've talked about it many times. I wanted to be a makeup artist. I wish I knew how to put on makeup and do makeup and all that. So I just have fun with new makeup products and watching people apply it and just trying to learn
techniques.
Yes.
You had a cool lip liner technique earlier.
I learned it on TikTok.
You like do your you put them together and
like that. And then what else do I learn on TikTok? A lot of makeup, a lot of skincare, love the dances.
Oh my gosh, I love the dances.
Books, it's called Book Talk.
I didn't know that.
There's Smut Book Talk.
Oh, a shoe for every foot on TikTok.
Yeah, so I learn a lot about what book to read next. And then if I want to read like the same author and I'm like, I don't know which book to read next, I'll like put in the book title to TikTok and hear a bunch of reviews of the book.
Oh my gosh.
It's very handy.
I didn't know any of that existed. That's cool.
I find TikTok very handy. Some people use it as their news source. I don't really do that, but there are some interesting things on there. I think on there people aren't as censored, and that might be the whole like get rid of TikTok thing. I don't know. But anyways,
I heard that, yeah.
We don't have to go down that rabbit hole, but I really enjoy it. And it doesn't send me into that depressive cycle that I feel for some reason on Instagram if I'm on there for too long. But I find a lot of like new techniques.
I love that
on there.
I love it. And again, this is I'm not as well versed in TikTok. I don't really, but I used to watch, there'd be these videos on Instagram of like women getting their nails done, of like the painting on the nails. That was really cool. And then watching like makeup where it's just like a face and they're like doing makeup or they're like rubbing oil or doing like, I really like that stuff too.
Yeah, it's calming. It's interesting. I like learning.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really great in that regard. So, okay, what else do you do for self-care? I would say exercise, but exercise is more of like, I do it because it's important, but like.
I feel like I don't do that much, but you know what? Honestly, doing this podcast to me is self-care. It's actually like probably one of the biggest forms of self-care.
This is my like fun, happy place.
Yeah, like I could sit here like all day.
Maybe we should.
Let's just sit here all day.
But we have real lives and children.
Right.
To get to.
But like this is cool. Like
I think walk. Oh, you know what self-care? Vitamin D.
I sit in the sun. Yeah, recently.
I don't sit in the sun. You got to be careful.
I know.
But
I for like 10 minutes just to get.
Yeah, walking in the sun, the sunshine, or I guess sometimes I go in my backyard and sit. That has become really important Other forms of self-care that I wish I did more of is grounding, barefoot on the ground,
Yeah.
barefoot
The
on the
beach
dirt.
is really good too.
And we're so close to the beach, but okay. I have a confession. You might know this about me. Maybe going back to the other episode, why you think you'd have to drive me to LAX is because I've been with Ben since I was 21, and Ben prefers to be the driver, which I'm totally fine with. But I am so fearful of driving outside of our just community. Like when we have dance competitions, there's a few of my friends at the studio if Ben can't go, I'll send them a message, which one of you is driving with me? Because I either need someone with me or I need, well, I'll drive as long as they're with me because I get scared of not the driving part, but like the exit and the directions. And everyone's like, well, watch GPS, but GPS confuses me. I don't get it.
Did I ever tell you about the time I left Palm Springs and ended up at the Mexican border?
Maybe subconsciously that's why. I do remember this story. I just don't like to drive alone.
Yeah.
So I don't like to go down the windy roads to the beach.
Literally ended up at the border. Like literally, I pulled up at the border.
But like, okay, let's talk about this is a very Kara.
Does that not concern you?
Well, hold on. It doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
This is more of a like Kara-esque thing to do.
Kara-ism.
It's a Kara-ism. At what point in that drive did you not stop to check yourself to figure out you're not heading in? Like, wasn't there a sign that said Mexico? Like this many miles?
I mean, this is what happened. Oh, and I'm going to make it brief, okay? I left Palm Springs. My sister and her best friend were still there at the hotel when I left. It was 8 a.m. I'd been out the night before.
Yeah,
whatever.
you weren't 16.
I wasn't 16. This is like 2 years ago. And I plug in my address into my phone. The destination pops up. I click it. It says 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm like, that looks about right. I start driving. There's a shit ton of detours the whole time, right? And I'm taking the detours.
Oh, that would cause me so much.
And so I'm thinking, nothing looks familiar subconsciously because I'm taking detours. I'm taking a different way. I get a phone call from my sister's friend and she's like, hey, Lisa just wanted me to check on you.
Were they tracking your location?
I had never shared my location with my sister ever. This time I did when I left. Thank you, Lord. Kelly calls me. Hey, where are you? I was like, oh, just headed home, about 20 minutes out. She goes, you are like approaching the Mexican border. And I'm like, what? I pull over. I had typed in my address and not realized my address exists in Mexico. I ended up at the Mexican border. Then when I start looking around, I'm like, whatever the freeway is in San Diego, the 808 or the 8 or the 5 or 805, whatever. I don't know. I see that and I see the Balboa exit and I'm like, like,
why? What's Balboa exit?
It's Pacific Beach, San Diego. So I had left, but I was like so I like passed the border somehow and like ended up then seeing Balboa. It was the weirdest thing. And so I call my husband.
Was it raining?
No.
Maybe I just feel like it was raining.
You would think because that would make more sense, but no, it wasn't raining. Like I don't have that to fall back on. I call my husband, hysterical. I thought I was like 20 minutes from home. I was over 3 hours from home.
Did you stay in San Diego?
No, I just kept driving.
I hope you had a good podcast or a Smut to listen to.
I didn't have either.
You like music though.
I love music. Oh, music's a big thing in self-care for me too.
I can do a good solid 5 to 7 minutes and then it overstimulates me.
That's it? That's your threshold?
My poor children, they love music.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes I'm just like, mommy can't.
Yeah.
Ben loves music too, but too much of it
Does it depend on the music? Because I feel like some music is overstimulating, but
no, just auditory overstimulation.
Is that's something we should talk about too? Like after having kids or something?
Oh, it's all worse. My claustrophobia. I need an MRI. Okay. I've been prescribed to get an MRI every time I go.
Taking kind of a
every time I go.
Serious turn. I don't need an MRI. For what?
Hold on. There's something wrong with my neck. Like I was at the therapist and he pushed on my neck and my whole arm went dead for like hours. So he's like,
you need an MRI.
Every time I go to schedule the MRI, I hang up because the amount of claustrophobia I'm going to get in that tunnel.
Not that bad. Just close your eyes.
My stepmom was like, stop being such a wuss. But Kara, I'm
I've had
telling
so
you,
many MRIs.
I used to have them. I've had them.
Yeah.
There's
But
something
now,
as I
yeah.
age.
Yeah.
The auditory stimulation so overwhelming. We were in Costco and it was busy, and I looked at Ben. I was like, I have to get out. We have to do this fast.
That's why I don't have a membership to Costco. I can't.
Well, you can go when it's quiet.
No.
Wait, if we're gonna talk about overstimulation, this is actually just fear. IKEA.
I was just thinking about it. I was gonna go on a whole tangent about
I
IKEA.
don't know.
Those arrows on the ground, like,
Okay, what if there's an emergency? Where the fuck are you going to escape? You're stuck. If you're in IKEA
IKEA.
and you need to get out or there's an emergency, consider yourself royally screwed.
But I will say I like what IKEA has in store.
Yeah.
Right. But the whole like directionality and like it's so freaking big and there's all these departments and then there's like the cafeteria that apparently they
Is
have,
there
like,
even a
did you
window?
know that their Swedish meatballs like were made of horse meat or something? No, it's a thing.
Okay, I believe you.
Everybody researched that.
I've never researched the meatballs at IKEA.
I'm like 99%.
I
Well, you
order
should be.
online from IKEA. Okay.
That's the way to do it.
So weird.
So overstimulating. Yeah, very
So
overstimulating.
music is one of those things. So sometimes it makes me feel really good. I like it when I'm working out.
Right.
But the ultimate auditory overstimulation for me is when music's playing and people talk.
Especially when kids are talking.
Well, everything when kids are talking.
Oh my gosh, this is so validating. I feel
It
so
makes
seen
me
right now.
feel
I feel so understood.
like I am crawling out of my skin and my head is going to explode.
Do you also feel like you kind of turn into like a raging bitch? Because I feel like I do.
I don't
like
kind of feel like it.
I like, yeah, it's like, shut up. It's like my voice gets like really low, like shut up.
I go from 0 to 100 of like, it's enough, stop.
Yeah, like where you want to crawl out of your skin.
It makes Adam so happy to listen to music and he'll get in the car. Mom, can we turn on music? No.
Well, him and Justin can go like sit in his studio
Like,
and like blast music all
do you
the
have
time.
a headache?
I cannot.
I'm like, yeah, I have a headache. I just can't internally handle it. So
no.
quiet is self-care. Okay, I have a question.
Sometimes doing nothing is self-care too. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Then when you're doing nothing,
Yeah.
is your brain off?
You're not actually doing nothing, I guess. You're just allowing yourself to sit in the moment, maybe like do a little body scan. So you're not like doing nothing, but you're kind of, it seems like you're idle, but really it can be very productive.
Hold on. This makes me think of getting a massage.
Oh yeah. We both just had really good massages.
I know, you guys got it for my birthday. It was so beautiful. So we go to get a massage. We had a girl spa day. And what did you and I talk about before the massage?
Oh my gosh, how to like turn our brain off for the massage.
Massages can't even be that enjoyable because I go into
can't stop thinking.
on spiral of
Yeah.
overthinking.
Yeah.
And then I start getting anxiety about it's going to end soon. Yes!
So it's really well. Really sorry. I actually like am feeling really validated today. I still have ear trouble. Speaking of overstimulating, I'm so sorry. That was like really, really validating to hear.
So then
Yes.
I'm having anxiety. And then I also have anxiety during massages of like, are they not going to flip me over?
No, I don't have that.
Are they not going to work on my legs? Are they just staying up on my back? Like how's this going? How much time is left? I feel that we're coming to an end. And then when we are coming to an end, I'm like, you know what? Damn it, Jessie. It's over. And you were just worried about X, Y, and Z the whole time and you didn't pay attention.
You weren't in the moment.
What did we figure out? Do you remember? We had a cocktail before our
espresso
massage.
martini.
It was delightful.
Delightful.
And it was the best massage I've ever had because the espresso martini kind of quieted my inner dialogue.
Yeah.
And I was more present in that massage than I'd ever been. And I said to you, I'm not going to have a drink before the massage. Like that sounds so counterintuitive, but we did because we had like a couple hours before the massage.
Right.
It was glorious.
It really
because
was.
My brain was quieter. And then I looked at you and I said, well, fuck, is this why people drink? I don't know.
Well, speaking of, and a good point to make is like, you know, for you in that moment, having the drink really helped. If you don't drink, if someone doesn't drink, right? Like, let's say they're in recovery or something.
back to I don't like to
Right.
drink
Yeah.
a
I'm
lot.
not a big drinker either, but you find something to do before the massage that's gonna just take it down a little, and then you can really
Be present.
be present.
Yeah, so that massages are self-care if you can do them right. I usually leave a little pissed off though. I'm not gonna lie. A little like, why didn't you stay more present? Why
But
didn't
this
you
last
enjoy that
time
more?
you've said
This was
it was
the
good.
this was
Same.
the best one
I agree.
I've done.
I agree.
If I had a pool in my backyard, a jacuzzi would be self-care. I love,
Oh, 100%.
I love that.
Going out with friends,
Okay,
dinner with
yes.
friends is self-care.
Being with, at this age, we're 41. Our birthdays are really close together. Our whole group just turned 41. One of us has a few more weeks to go, but we all turned 41 really. I love, love, love my family, but my close friendships are my soulmates. So going out with one or all is for sure self-care.
Totally. It's like the best ever. It's the best.
It's just, it fills my cup runneth
I was
over.
just thinking that saying, this is so crazy. We like have the same brain.
I have a question about self-care.
Mhm.
Would you consider getting your nails done and working on your face and all that to be self-care? Because I'm going to say it's not.
I don't, here we go. Ooh, I got a good one. Ideally, so when I put my therapist hat on, we want the activity, the self-care activity to have a self-soothing function.
Uh-huh.
Getting Botox to me does not have a self-soothing function. Getting a massage does. It's relaxing muscles. It's right. Working out, you're releasing endorphins. You're maybe calming your nervous system. Some might argue that getting Botox is self-care. That's fine. It might be like part of your larger.
It makes me feel better overall.
Overall, sure. But self-care, I would probably be hesitant to say that Botox or like getting filler is self-care.
Or nails.
We want a self-soothing. Yeah, even nails, because it's like, I like the, you know what it is? If you only really like the end product of the activity, the outcome, that's not self-care. It has to be, so me sitting there, you know, although I will say there's a massage, feet are in warm water. That's a self-soothing, right?
Nice.
But just if you're just sitting getting your nails done, you're not enjoying the process.
And I've really cut
necessarily.
back on pedicure. So normally, and for my nails for me has to do a lot with my profession. There's something I do in my profession where I'm touching faces and my nails just don't grow in a pretty way. So I've always felt very uncomfortable touching people's faces where my nails don't look nice. So for me, it's kind of like an obligatory. I want my hands and my nails to look a certain
Totally.
way.
And like me talking to clients on remote, I'm like Italian and always doing like, so I gotta have nails.
And if the nail salon is chaotic, and there's one in our community that how people go there is beyond me because it is so chaotic
like
in
a
there.
warehouse of just like,
And it's just so much
noise.
noise.
Hundreds of, it feels like there's like hundreds of stations.
That it's like send me that IKEA. Like I cannot, like I need it quiet. I go at 9 a.m. before anyone else shows up. Or if I go and I have to wait a long time, that causes me anxiety.
Anxiety producing.
This is what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that are anxiety producing.
So that would be considered self-care.
No,
And
that's
again,
what I'm saying.
you go because you like the outcome,
Mhm.
right? To me, that's a big thing with self-care that I just came up with.
Walking through Sephora is for sure self-care. Makes me so happy.
So much eye candy in there.
Oh yeah. And then shopping without my kids around. It's fun. Not as fun as it used to be because stores don't have anything in them and I don't want to spend the money.
Right.
But like, you know what it is? I think it's just the zoning out. You're right.
Wait, what?
Wait, just so everybody knows. We wanted to end the episodes at like 25 minutes.
So I said,
Kara,
I will wink when we're at 25 minutes. And I just looked at you and winked twice with one eye. So if anybody saw that, it looked weird. That's why. There's a reason
it
I'm
was like alien.
It was like,
her eyes got, no, it wasn't. It was
What
like
was it?
that. Your eyes got so wide and you winked. Oh, and
And
I
you're,
for
like,
a second
literally
thought something
crying right
happened
now.
to her.
You're literally
And then I
crying.
realized she's telling me to wrap it up. Okay, so
Self-care is important. Figure
So-
out what works and do
do it.
lots of it.
All right. That's a wrap.
All right, guys, here's the deal. If you like what you hear,
And we know you do.
be sure to like, subscribe,
And write us a review.
that rhymes.